Hello and welcome, net aspirants. I am CS Leena Maheshwari. Welcomes you all to Eduncle's UGC NET channel. Here we were doing a series of important questions of GP1, Management and Commerce. Today I am here in front of you a unit Business Finance of Commerce. Important PYQs we are taking today. So let's begin with the first PYQ. See. Arrange the following items, that is stages of capital budgeting, into sequence. See, here we have to arrange the following items into proper sequence. What would be the sequence of these items? इसका option क्या होगा? See, here सबसे पहले आपको देखना है प्रोसेस, स्टेजेस ऑफ कैपिटल बजटिंग आपको देखना है, आइडेंटिफिकेशन हम जस्ट रीडिंग इन अ वन गो एक बार, फिर हम उसके बाद इसके ऑप्शंस देखते हैं. आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ पोटेंशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज, असेंबलिंग ऑफ प्रपोज्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट, डिसीजन मेकिंग, implementation and performance review, preparation of capital budget and appropriation. right? तो सबसे पहला हम क्या करते हैं, हम आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटीज को. तो व्हाट वी विल डू है, सबसे पहला आपको क्या करना है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज को आइडेंटिफाई करना है. एंड आफ्टर आइडेंटिफाइंग द अपॉर्चुनिटीज what we have to do is we have to prepare or organize the resources or the proposed investments. अभी हमारे पास जो भी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हमने आइडेंटिफाई किया वो A, B, C, अभी हमें क्या करना है, उनको असेंबल करना है उन proposed investments को. So we will assemble, right? After assembling we will make a decision regarding what? Decision making process in capital budgeting, right? After that what we will do is we will prepare the capital budget, और prepare होने के बाद ही review होगा, right? So इधर this is the third point and this will be the preparation and this will be the review. So 1, 2, 3, 5 and 4, A, B, C, E and D. So option number 4 would be the answer. If you want me to tell you all the answers, मैं आपको एक बारी पूरा आंसर, इसका पूरा प्रोसेस आपके साथ शेयर कर देती हूँ, जिससे आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा कि क्या क्या होता है. सबसे पहला होता है फर्स्ट. सेकेंड जो स्टेज होता है gathering of the investment proposal. After that decision making process. After gathering we have to decide कि अभी हमें कौन सा proposal choose करना है, ठीक है? इसके बाद capital budgeting, preparation and appropriation. After that आप इसको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन भी कह सकते हैं, एग्जीक्यूशन भी कह सकते हैं, ठीक है। Review of performance. So these are the steps in capital budgeting, right? Next question आते हैं, which of the following variable is not known, which of the following variable is not known in internal rate of return method of capital budgeting? इनमें से कौन सा ऐसा वेरिएबल है जो इंटरनल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न मेथड में यूज नहीं आता कैपिटल बजटिंग में, राइट? तो जब भी आप IRR की कैलकुलेशन करते हो या हम IRR स्टडी करते हैं, कैश फ्लोज हम ऑफ कोर्स यूज करते हैं हाई एंड लो रेट्स के साथ में, लाइफ ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट, अमाउंट ऑफ कैश इनफ्लो जरूर यूज आता है, डिस्काउंटेड रेट नहीं यूज में आता, ठीक है। तो ये आता है बट ये गिवन नहीं होता है, दिस वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट, ये फॉर्मूला में हम यूज नहीं करते बिकॉज दिस वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट। सो आवर ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर 3 वुड बी द आंसर, राइट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, match the list 1 with list 2। अभी 2019 जून में आया हुआ क्वेश्चन है, हमें इसको मैच करना है, ठीक है। ये सारे क्वेश्चन प्रीवियस ईयर के हम ले रहे हैं। अगर आपको कोई भी डाउट लगता है किसी भी क्वेश्चन में, सो अगेन यू कैन आस्क, ठीक है, आप कमेंट्स में डाल सकते हो। आई एम लाइव एंड मैं कमेंट्स का लाइव रिप्लाई कर रही हूँ, तो आप कमेंट्स में डाल सकते हैं, ठीक है। अभी नेट इनकम अप्रोच, गॉर्डन मॉडल, अब आपको ये चारों ये अलग अलग टॉपिक्स हैं, अलग अलग चैप्टर्स हैं, इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट, कैपिटल बजटिंग, कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर थ्योरी, डिविडेंड थ्योरी। इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट, तो इनमें से कौन सा इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड है? नेट इनकम अप्रोच नहीं रिलेटेड है। नेट इनकम अप्रोच किससे रिलेटेड है? कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर से। गॉर्डन मॉडल, ऑफ कोर्स गॉर्डन मॉडल, वॉल्टर मॉडल, MM मॉडल, डिविडेंड थ्योरी से। इंटरनल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न अभी हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में किया कैपिटल बजटिंग से। रीऑर्डर लेवल, ठीक है, इसको हम थोड़ा सा अच्छे से और कर लेते हैं, जिससे हम बहुत अच्छे से लाइंस ड्रॉ कर लें, ठीक है, कोई एरर ना हो, अभी कोई डाउट नहीं होगा, राइट। तो ये इजी है। तो आवर ऑप्शन वुड बी ए के लिए थर्ड एंड बी के लिए फोर्थ। ए के लिए थर्ड, बी के लिए फोर्थ तो कंफ्यूजिंग हो गया। सी के लिए सेकेंड, सी के लिए सेकेंड, तो ऑप्शन नंबर 2, ऑप्शन नंबर 2 वुड बी द आंसर, राइट, करेक्ट। Now coming to the question number 4th. Now, here match the following methods of capital budgeting with their respective formula. अभी इधर आपको क्या करना है? फॉर्मूला के साथ में डालना है, ठीक है। ये डिवीजन में है, ये फॉर्मूला, ये ऐसा करके ये डिवीजन में है, इट इज इन डिवीजन अगेन, ये डिवीजन, ये डिवाइड है, ठीक है। नाउ अब हम इसको किस तरीके से करते हैं? हियर ARR मेथड, एवरेज इनकम मेथड जो है, एवरेज प्रॉफिट मेथड, एवरेज इनकम अपॉन एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट, इसको हम इस तरीके से कैलकुलेट करते हैं, राइट। नेक्स्ट, पे बैक पीरियड मेथड, इन्वेस्टमेंट एनुअल कैश इनफ्लोज, NPV, present value of cash inflows upon present value of cash outflows, and D is right. So our option number 2 is correct option. बहुत easy और direct question है, बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस यहाँ पर नहीं आए हैं, ठीक है। अब नेक्स्ट हम लेते हैं पॉलिटिकल रिस्क मैनेजमेंट कम्स इन द एम्बिट ऑफ विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग financial decision. C. Political risk management comes in the ambit of in which of the following options or in which of the financial decisions political risk management comes. Non-conventional capital budgeting, international currency arbitrage. C. Non-conventional capital budgeting, political risk management doesn't comes. Non-conventional Political risk management comes in the ambit of non-conventional capital budgeting, international currency arbitrage, foreign exchange. These two markets are from Forex. So they have nothing to do with political risk management. Multinational and non-conventional. See, in a first look, we might think that the answer would be option number 1. But understanding on the question and based on the understanding of the question, political risk. See, political risk comes when there are multi-nations involved, right? When there are two countries involved. So, political risk involves when there is multinational capital budgeting, when there is MNC involved, right? So, our answer would be option number 4. Next question. Sequence the following. Now we have to arrange the following. Sequence the following questions or following in the capital budgeting process. So class, now we have to arrange these into the capital budgeting process. Cash flow estimation, identification of discounting rate, project selection, determination of NPV. इनमें से what we have to do is we have to arrange these given processes in capital budgeting, right? Capital budgeting process, how are these elements be ranked, right? So, सबसे पहला what we have to do is, सबसे पहला cash flow estimation, identify discounting rate first, second, and after it. See, project selection तभी होगा जब आपका एनपीवी का रेट आ जाएगा. नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू के रेट के बाद में आप वैल्यूज डिटरमाइन करके प्रोजेक्ट को सिलेक्ट करते हो. तो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू इज see everyone, as per this question I have mentioned these processes, right? So our option would be A, B, D, C. Option number 2. वैसे this may be a coincidence, हम जितने भी अरेंज वाले क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं मैक्सिमम ऑप्शन नंबर 2 आ रहा है आंसर. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि ऑप्शन नंबर 2 ही होगा सबके लिए. इट इज अ कोइंसिडेंस. ओके, now class, question number 7th. Talking about question number 7th, it is based on assertion reasoning. Assertion reasoning हमें बहुत ध्यान से सॉल्व करने हैं क्वेश्चंस. कई बारी मुझे लगता है मेरा assertion reasoning का क्वेश्चन इज करेक्ट और कई बारी क्या होता है हम गलत करके आ जाते हैं बिकॉज मैंने क्वेश्चन बहुत ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ा होता है. ठीक है. Now here it is. The important aspect of dividend policy is to determine the amount of earnings. Dividend policy का जो important aspect है is to determine the amount of earning to be distributed to shareholders, the amount of and the amount of retained earnings of the firm, right? तो सबसे पहला किसी भी फर्म की डिविडेंड पॉलिसी का क्या यही टारगेट होता है? सी, डिविडेंड पॉलिसी का तो यही टारगेट होता है कि आपको ये पता चले कि जो भी हमने प्रॉफिट डिटरमाइन किया है वो आपने शेयर होल्डर्स को कितना देना है और अपने पास कितना रिटेन करना है, यही तो टारगेट होता है, राइट? सो दिस इज करेक्ट, दिस इज ट्रू. Dividend policy of the firm has its effect on both long-term financing and wealth of the shareholders. Yes, again it is true. Dividend policy जो बनती है उसका इफेक्ट लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंसिंग पर भी रहता है और शेयर होल्डर्स की वेल्थ पर भी रहता है, ये हम अच्छे से जानते हैं, तो दैट इज ट्रू. बट क्या ये रीजन इसका करेक्ट है? Yes, this reason is correct. So option number 1 is the answer. Correct. Under which of the following situations the decision outcome on evaluation of, आपने एक चीज नोटिस किया, मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चन आर फ्रॉम कैपिटल बजटिंग से है, ज्यादातर क्वेश्चंस कैपिटल बजटिंग से है. Under which of the following situations the decision outcome on evaluation of investment opportunities vary under NPV and IRR? देखो अब एक चीज देखना, ये NPV और IRR का कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग सिचुएशन बता रहा है कि ऐसा कब होता है, when it happens when NPV and IRR has the conflicting situation, these two conflict with each other, right? So सबसे पहला we have first thing the first, time disparity, cost disparity, life disparity and volume disparity. So in which of the situations we find that NPV and IRR has conflicting situations, right? So yes, in time disparity, cost disparity and life disparity. Not in volume disparity. In volume disparity, there is no conflict among the NPV and IRR. Correct? So A, B and C. So our option would be option number 3. Right? Next. NPV and IRR methods yield conflicting outcomes due to, again, the language has changed, the pattern has changed. See, now here NPV and IRR methods yield conflicting outcomes due to unconventional cash flows, investment size disparity, investment life disparity, cash flow pattern disparity. So NPV and IRR, अभी हमने जो प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन किया था, एज पर दैट अगर हम जाते हैं, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट अगर हम जाते हैं तो क्या हम देखते हैं, वेयर वी आर हैविंग द conflict in IRR and NPV, right? So अभी हम इधर देखते हैं, see, so NPV, yes, you can put your comments below everyone. So under NPV and internal rate of return methods, conflicting outcomes आते हैं, that means result would be conflicting due to what? Due to investment life disparity, cash flow pattern disparity, put your thumbs up if you are watching this live. Okay, so coming to this question, अभी conflicting outcomes किसके वजह से आते हैं? See, first of all we need to understand the cash flow pattern. There's a difference while studying NPV, while solving the question with NPV and solving the question with IRR. There is a vast difference among the cash flow patterns. Next is investment size disparity. Of course, investment size disparity की वजह से. Next is investment life disparity, not due to unconventional cash flows. So the answer would be B, C and D. That is option number 4. Correct? Now, coming to next question now. न्यूमेरिकल्स भी आएंगे, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको न्यूमेरिकल्स नहीं मिलेंगे या आपको सॉल्व नहीं करने होंगे. बहुत डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन हर बार आपको नहीं मिलेंगे. सो ये न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व करने के लिए आई विल टेक अ पेज हियर. अ प्रोजेक्ट, इफ अ प्रोजेक्ट, देखो कोई भी क्वेश्चन, सी इफ यू आर सॉल्विंग एनी काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन में बहुत सारा पैटर्न, तो इधर ही बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन आई एम सॉल्विंग हियर ओनली, and remaining part we will take on the next page. So first of all, project cost is 40,000. What is the investment amount? That is of 40,000. Next, if stream of earning, EB, see earnings before depreciation and tax. First year through 5 years is expected. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Tax rate is 50%, ARR, and depreciation rate straight line basis. Projects ARR is. So first of all we have to calculate depreciation and after that ARR, right? Coming to the next question, C. Right? Next. Here now we have to 10, 12, 14, 16, we have to prepare a table here. And this is ARR, so we have to calculate the average also. Let me see, before solving this, you have to prepare a table. Now, what we have to do is, first of all, we have to write over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. ARR है, तो we will calculate the average, right? अभी हमें ये 5 years का EBIT, depreciation, tax, ये सारी चीजें मैनेज करना है. We will write, मैं अराउंड 5-6 लाइंस में ड्रॉ कर लेती हूँ. ना, सबसे पहले आपको EBIT गिवन है, EBDT गिवन है बिफोर डेप्रिसिएशन एंड टैक्स 10, 12, 14, 16, 20. नेक्स्ट, अभी इसमें से व्हाट वी हैव टू डू इज लेस डेप्रिसिएशन. सी डेप्रिसिएशन इज नॉट गिवन बट ऑन द स्ट्रेट लाइन बेसिस, तो मैं यहीं पर अभी डेप्रिसिएशन आई विल कैलकुलेट. ₹8,000, right? Now this is straight line, so it will be uniform for each year. एक काम करती हूँ, आई एम चूजिंग अ डिफरेंट पैन जिससे आपको थोड़ा आइडिया हो जाएगा. 2000, here it is. $4,000, $6,000, here it is $8,000, here it is $12,000, right? इसको हम बोलेंगे EBT. ठीक है, इंटरेस्ट कहीं नहीं गिवन है. अभी मुझे क्या लेस करना है? टैक्स लेस करना है. लेस टैक्स, 50% टैक्स है. सो 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 6,000, right? Next, अभी इसको हम ऐसे नहीं लिखेंगे बिकॉज ये जो EBIT है आफ्टर टैक्स है ना, इसको आप ऐसे लिखेंगे EBIT मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1 माइनस टी. तो ये आफ्टर टैक्स हो गया. तो रिमेनिंग कितना आया मेरे पास? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 एंड 6,000, राइट? अभी आप चाहें तो आप इसका ही बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड आफ्टर टैक्स, ये बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड आफ्टर टैक्स है, तो इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? अर्निंग्स बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड आफ्टर टैक्स. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज, इसका हम एवरेज ले लेते हैं. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 16. So here I am taking the average. Right? $3,200. So the average would be 3,200. आप बाकी सबका भी ले सकते हैं बिकॉज बट फॉर्मूला में यूज नहीं आ रहा तो हमने लिया नहीं है. तो 3,200. ठीक है. Now I am putting the formula over here. देखो वो रेट बोल रहा है तो आपको मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 करना ही होगा फॉर्मूला में, राइट? तो एवरेज प्रॉफिट बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड आफ्टर टैक्स. ठीक है, और इधर आएगा एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट, राइट? अभी मैंने 3,200 निकाला था मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100, बट यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन आ रहा है एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो मेरा एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना हुआ? टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना है? 40,000. तो एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट इज इक्वल टू 16%। अभी आपका आंसर आएगा 16%। एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं हम। यस, ऑप्शन में 16% आंसर है, तो और आंसर वुड बी 16%। आपको पता चल गया वर्किंग नोट। पहला तो एक वर्किंग नोट डेप्रिसिएशन का बनेगा, ठीक है। इसके बाद दूसरा वर्किंग नोट आपका बनेगा एवरेज प्रॉफिट्स का, ये आपका हो गया वर्किंग नोट 2, ठीक है। थर्ड जो आपका बनेगा वो वर्किंग नोट एवरेज इन्वेस्टमेंट का बनेगा, वर्किंग नोट 3। ये आपका पार्ट ऑफ द आंसर है, ये भी आपका पार्ट ऑफ द आंसर है। क्लियर है? तो आंसर है 16%। नाउ नेक्स्ट इज coming to the next question. According to the theory of dividend, the firm should follow its investment policy of accepting all positive NPV projects and paying out dividends if and only if funds are available. ठीक है, firm should accept when there is positive value in the NPV projects and rejecting the negative ones, and if the funds are available they will be paying the dividends. What does it known as? See, before understanding this, we must understand, or we must know these other options also. All the options we must understand, and after that only we are going to answer. तो सबसे पहला, talking about the first option, the bird in hand theory. I'm explaining over here, you can note it down. See, sometimes what happens is bird in hand का meaning है, bird in hand means when we prefer the things which are in our hands currently. We won't consider the things receiving after 1 year. See, 1 rupee, if I'm getting 1 rupee right now, and if I'm getting 1 rupee after a year, so after a year, the value of that 1 rupee would be 0.90 only. So that is known as bird in hand. So investors prefer dividend from stock investing to potential capital gains because there is no you can say there is no guarantee of the capital gains in future. What might be the capital gain, if there is capital, if there will be capital gain or no, right? So this is known as bird in hand theory. Next, investors rationality theory. Next is investors rationality theory. See what a rational investor wants. Investor's rationality theory. When investor is fully rational or fully behavioral. But what do we understand by this? See, rationality is about the choice, like what type of investment or what type of projects an investor wants to choose. Correct? Next. Next is 100% retention theory. See, under 100% retention theory, when investors are ready to forego their profits, they are ready to leave their profit, right? Not the profit, the dividend. Okay, when they are ready to leave their dividend, this is known as 100% retention theory. Why investors wants to never want to receive their profits? Because they are in the belief that in long run they are going to get much more profits, right? Next. Residual theory. Residual theory suggests that see, what do we understand by residue? Residue is remaining portion, the bacha hua portion, the leftover. So dividend paid by a firm is viewed as a residual. That means it is the amount remaining after paying all the expenses, after paying all the amounts, and this is the remaining amount, right? So the firm should follow its investment policy accepting all positive NPVs. सारा NPV जो होगा जिसका positive होगा, we have to accept that, and we have to pay dividends only when the funds are available. That is as per residual theory. Option number 4, right? Next question. Question number 12. Modified internal rate of return, that is also known as MIRR, right, is based on reinvestment assumption. Whether that statement is true or not, this statement is true. See, modified internal rate of return, what we do is, practically I'm telling you, what we do is, when we calculate the internal rate of return, after that we calculate a different rate of return, that is known as, again we are calculating the IRR, that is known as modified internal rate of return, and that is done to the by the reinvestment assumption. So this statement is true, right? Next. So what does it mean? It means that all positive cash flows are reinvested. Now, value additivity principle not only applicable in NPV, value additivity principle is not applicable in NPV. Okay, in the light of the above statements, okay, we have to choose the correct answer. Value additivity principle is not applicable in NPV. NPV में value additivity, that means summation of values. Additivity is summation of value is not available. See, it was available. It is available, right? Actually, it is available. Here I am writing the answer. It states that the value of the total NPV, if we have a bigger project, so its NPV value is equal to the summation of all the smaller projects NPVs. So this statement again, it is not correct. See, value additivity principle is there in NPV, but this statement stating not. So this statement is false. So the first statement is true, second statement is false. So here we have to choose this. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. Option number 2, right? Next. A sale and lease back arrangement is more suitable for a lease having. Sale and lease back. This arrangement is more suitable where it is suitable. We are having liquidity crisis, high profit, surplus fund, no profit, no loss. Sale and lease back is the option where we have liquidity crisis. So here we can sell or lease back our settlements, our assets, our fixed assets, and we can have the funds. Okay? Not in BEP, break even, we do not sell or lease back. In surplus funds and high profits, we do not require either. So in liquidity crisis, we need to sell or lease back, right? Next. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other is labeled as reason. Firms opt for buying an asset if the equivalent annual cost of ownership and operation is less than the best lease rate it can get. Firms, now it is about the decision making, whether you are going to buy or whether you are going to lease it. So firms opt for buying an asset. Firms opt for buying, they go for buying the assets if the equivalent annual cost of ownership and the operation is less than the best lease rate. So if the buying rate is lesser than the lease rate, so the firms will opt for buying. Yes, it is right. Firms will, of course, now we have to make a decision. See, if we have to make a decision, buy or lease. And if I'm getting cheaper rate on buying the product, so I'll go for the buying option, right? So this is the correct. Operating leases are attractive to equipment users if the lease payment is lesser than the user's equivalent annual cost. Operating lease कब use किया जाता है? When it is used, lease payment is less than the user's equivalent annual cost of buying. When the lease amount is lesser than the annual cost of buying, right? Then it is useful. It is the correct statement, but it is not the correct explanation, right? But it is not the correct explanation. So the option number 2. Next. Foreign investment can be made through which of the following routes? Foreign investment routes, we have to study FDI, foreign portfolio investment, private equity investments, and foreign venture capital investment. See, all these are the Modes by which we can have foreign investment. So option number 1. Right? Next. Which of the following statements are correct? इनमें से कौन सा statement जो है वो correct है? Which of the following statement is correct? Dividend payout ratio refers to that portion of total earnings distributed among equity shareholders. Okay. Dividend payout ratio is that amount which we have to pay to the shareholders. The profit is divided into two parts, the dividend and the retained earnings. So dividend payout ratio is the total amount what we are going to pay to the shareholders. Is this true? Okay, it is true, right. Bird in hand argument is given by Gordon's model. See, bird in hand is given by Gordon model only. Okay. So again it is true. It is a direct question and straight question, right? अगर आपको आता है, if you know the answer, you know the answer. There is no conceptual thing over here. Bird in hand model is given by whom? Model suggests that dividend payment is very relevant for the value of the firm. No, it is wrong. It is irrelevant. Next, Walter's model suggests that the dividend payment does not affect the market price of the share. It is relevant, right? And affect the market price of the share. So these both two statements are false and first two statements are true. That means option number 1 and option number 1 is the answer. That means A and B, right? A and B is the correct answer. Coming to the next question. Under which of the following approaches the cost of equity is assumed to increase linearly with leverage? The average cost of capital remains constant with increased use of leverage. We have to study all these approaches, and under which of the following approach cost of equity is assumed to be increased at the same pace. Average cost of capital remains constant, right? Same pace. Net operating income approach, net income approach, traditional approach, and Walter approach. So it is, I'm taking another page for this. right? Net operating income approach suggests that the change in debt of the firm or the change in the leverage fails to affect the total value of the firm. The debt ka value mein, if you are changing the value of the debt or if you are changing the value of the leverage, it doesn't affect the value of the firm. So the value of the firm remains constant. So our answer would be right. Option number 1. Coming to the next question. You can write all these definitions while preparing for your exam. And these questions are very important for your exams. If you are revising these questions, reading these questions, you'll be able to understand maximum of the concepts. Arrange the following financing choices in order to preference suggested by the packing order theory. अब सबसे important चीज, order of packing theory, packing order we can do. But what is the meaning of packing order? सबसे पहला we need to understand this. Now here we can take another page. The thing is, pecking order theory suggests that a firm should finance itself with retained earnings. So first of all, it has to finance itself with retained earnings. After that, if retained earnings is not available, then we have the option of debt. And we are not having the option of debt. Again, we will have to choose the equity. So retained earnings, debt and equity are the options. Abhi either there will be no doubt. Reinvestment, that is retained earnings, issue of shares and debt. So A, C, B is the answer, right? So option number 2 would be the correct answer. 1, 2, 3. So now if you know the packing order theory, so you will be easily able to understand the concept, right? Coming to the next question, that is, debt equity ratio indicates the long-term solvency of the company. Yes, debt equity, of course, it states the long-term solvency of the company. It measures the ability of the company to pay off its long-term liabilities, of course. It is true and it is the correct reason, direct. Very direct question it was, option number 1. Next is, now we have to match the following questions. See, mezzanine capital, private equity, GDR and venture capital. I'm starting from last, venture capital. तो सबसे पहला हम start करते एक बार read करना, then we will get to know the answer. If you get these kind of questions, I'll suggest first read the definition, the list 2 part. First come to the column 2, then you will be able to understand. It is the speedy source of finance, less regulated by the regulatory environment of debt and capital markets. It is the venture capital. Now, no, it is not the venture capital. I'm sorry. It is not the venture capital. It is the private equity. It is the private equity. It is yes. It is a long-term capital. It is long-term capital embraced by the high net worth and risk appetite investors. Okay. It is a long-term capital embraced by high net worth and risk appetite investors. It is venture capital. It is an equity instrument issued overseas market. Overseas market, we all know that is GDRs. It refers to subordinated last term option bacha, that is mezzanine. Right? So we are having the option A for only option number 3, but we have to check. Sometimes we might find the answers incorrect options. Right? A4, B1, C3 and D2. Right, it is correct. Option number 2 is the correct, or sorry, option number 3 is the correct answer. Right? Next. List 1 and list 2. Again, I'll suggest kindly go to the list 2 descriptions and after it come here. So you would be easily able to understand. Right? So, expected yield on equity capital is equal to pure equity return. See, expected yield on equity capital, it is equal pure equity return plus premium for financial risk. Target capital structure, optimum capital structure, cost of financial distress, proposition 2. It is proposition 2. It refers to the perceived cost due to increased ratio of debt in the firm. Perceived cost due to increased ratio of debt in the firm. Cost of financial distress. It is the debt ratio of the firm strives to achieve, that is target capital structure. It is the debt equity ratio that maximizes the value of the firm, optimum capital structure. So our answer would be A3, B4. Next, suppose that a firm has 20% debts and 80% equity in its capital structure. The cost of debts and cost of equity are assumed to be 10 to 15% respectively. What is the overall cost of capital? Overall cost of capital or weighted average you have to calculate. See, what we have is K, D and K. Right, 10% and it is 15% exactly. So KD, sure I'll be writing, I'll get more space. Multiply by debt plus KE multiply by equity. This is the formula of overall cost of capital, right? So 10 multiplied by so our answer would be 2 plus 12. 15 it's a 120 to 12. It is 14%. I'm solving it over here. Plus 12, it is 14%. Right? Option number 4 is the answer. Next, which one of the following is not a method of calculating cost of equity capital? इनमें से कौन सा मेथड जो है It is not the method of calculating cost of equity capital. Dividend yield method, dividend yield plus growth method, yield to maturity method, earnings yield method. See, this is the method to calculate. Again, this is but third. Option number 3. No such type of method is used for calculating cost of equity capital. Question number 24. Not true. Which of the following statement is not true? See, do not make any hard and fast decision. बहुत ध्यान से, you have to read very cautiously. Read the question very cautiously. Give time to your question, then you will not have to make time for your answers. Exactly. Right? Now, which of the following statement is not true? Any transaction that increases working capital is a source of funds. Depreciation is a source of fund. Major sources of working capital in long term is profits from operations. Profits earned from non-operating activities, it added to net profit while calculating profits from operations. C. Any transaction that increases the working capital. See, if any transaction is increasing the value of working capital, that means we are increasing the current assets and it is the source of funds. Okay, so it is true. Depreciation is a source of fund. No, depreciation is not the source of funds. Okay, it is wrong. Major source of working capital in the long run is profits from operations. That is true. Profits earned from non-operating activities added to net profit. Profits earned from non-operating activities is added to net profits while calculating profits from operations. Yes. Non-operating activities profits is to be added in the net profit. Correct. So option number 2 is the answer. Right? Next. Which of the following rules stands true while preparing schedule for working capital changes? C. Increase in CA. Next is increase in CA. C. Any two can be correct. If this is correct, then this cannot be correct. And this cannot be correct. For A and C will be correct. And if B is correct, then D will be correct. Right? So, सबसे पहला we need to understand the concept. See, if there is an increment in current assets, for example, 100 minus 50, there's 50. 150 minus 50 is 100. So we can say if increase in current assets, there will be increase in working capital. So this is right. Correct. Just giving you a very simple example. CA minus CL. If one is correct, then D cannot be correct. Current assets is increasing, WC is increasing. Then how it is possible that current liability is increasing and WC is increasing? So this would be the question. See, 100 minus 50 is equal to 50. 100 minus 75 is equal to 25. So current working capital is decreasing due to current liability is increasing. This is true and this is true. So option number C is correct. A and C is correct. Option number 1 is correct. Right, next. Which of the following equates the present value of cash outflow and the present value of expected cash inflow from the project? Okay. Which of the following methods equal करता है, equates करता है present value of cash outflow and present value of expected cash inflows from a project? Which method does this? IRR. How does it does? See, when we are reviewing the project with the hurdle rate, see if IRR and IR greater than hurdle rate, so we will accept the project, and here if it is less than, we will reject the project. So it equates, right? Clear? So option number 2 is the answer. So this is all. I hope this video is useful for examination and this will be helpful for examination. I am very well sure. And if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe our channel and share with your friends, right? And please do not forget to like our channel and share with all your friends. And I'm CS Leena Maheshwari. Stay tuned with our channel. See you tomorrow with another live with more important questions. Till then, thank you very much everyone. Have a nice day. Bye bye everyone.